I'll be showing you ins and outs of how you can eliminate broker and work directly with shippers. So I'll be showing you, as you can see, guys, these are the companies. It's basically direct shippers. We have I don't know, about maybe 20 companies, and we actually called some of them, and then I'll be sharing insights. And you guys know the drilling. So let me share my screen with you, and then we will take it from there. So what we're going to do today in this training, it's a little bit unique. Why is that? Is because this on Wednesday, 5 p.m. What we were doing is that we do live coaching sessions with my paid students. So what we're doing today, it's slightly different. I'll be teaching them how to eliminate brokers, meaning freight brokers, and work directly with shippers. And I'll be showing you 2 ways how you can find shippers. And I'll be talking about the strategies, tactics, the tools that you're going to use, and obviously a lot of good stuff. And at the end of the live, obviously we'll be doing Q&A. So specific questions you have, you will ask a question, and then obviously I'll pull that question. Let me see if we have questions. There you go, something like this. And then on the chat, so you'll be guys asking questions, and I'll just take this. And one of the questions we have is, hello, I'm taking my very first gig as a subcontractor, and any pros and cons to look out for, right? So at the end, we'll be doing exactly the same thing. You just guys have, questions, and I will just pull those questions, something like this, and we will go from there. More specifically, you guys are students, like our paid students, and this is obviously what we're going to teach today, and you guys will get the leverage today, connecting with us, working with us, learning with us. It will be an awesome live training. By the way, one thing that I really want to share with you guys is that I don't prepare as far as scripting goes. It's basically just like the idea and the experiences that I'll be sharing with you guys. I did a live on TikTok yesterday and today. And by the way, if you're not following us on TikTok, guys, this is the channel. I mean, what is it? The profile that we have on TikTok. I do a lot of training, short videos. If you're really up to short videos, this is for you. Just, follow us. And I did a live yesterday. We did a live. I think, let me pull this and I will, share it with you. We did a live yesterday. It was about an hour and a half live training. A lot of people, and obviously I did share, the email. I shared the company email with everybody. I said, hey, listen, if you have questions, please reach out to me. A lot of people reach out to us and said, hey, listen, Kamal, loads are out there. I don't know. It's something like that. These days, rates are pathetic. It's carriers, they're struggling. And I'm not going to, go into details about the story or something like that, just quickly that I was a carrier. And I'm no more carrier, but I was a carrier. And this is why I'm using the past tense. And I feel what carriers are going through. And this video specifically, training is for carriers and obviously for independent freight dispatchers. Why? Because independent freight dispatchers, they work directly with carriers. So I would say the plan for today is eliminating the freight brokers. But most people out there may be like, hey, listen, we've been working with brokers, I don't know, for decades, for years, and why we're just eliminating them. But at the same time, they're like, people on the other hand, they're against brokers meaning like, hey, we are giving away our cut, they're making a lot of money off of us or something like that, or from us, they're connecting us directly with shipper. Why don't we just go directly with shippers? And then they realize it's not easy to do that. And there are many reasons, and we'll be talking and touching some of them, some of those obviously problems carriers connecting directly with shippers. I'll share quickly. One of them is a lot of shippers out there, and I think just one of the myths that we have is that a lot of shippers out there, they're not going to work directly with carriers. And why is that? Well, the carrier, I would say, in average, at least in the United States, you can go do your research, and based on our research, is about average U.S. small companies, trucking companies, these trucks are between 6 to 8. We can just sum up and say, hey, 7 trucks per carrier. And shippers, think about, and I'm not talking about the size, but assuming that when we say shippers, we need a lot of loads, they have a lot of freight, and we just go and connect with them, and then they will supply us with loads, and we don't need to work with brokers, we don't need to use load boards, although I think we need to use for backhaul purposes, I would say. But then the problem, one of the problems, is when carrier goes to direct shipper, eliminating broker and saying, hey, I want to work with you, and then shipper like, hey, why should I work with you if I just work with broker, just one company, and that company manages, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of carriers? To me, if you mess up, you're just one single carrier. I know you have 5, 4, 6, 7 trucks, but then if you mess up, but then like the whole logistic, the system that I have is just like, it's messed up, right? I need to work with broker. I think that's one of the myths. And again, right, working with carriers, they don't want to work with carriers just because brokerage companies, they manage carriers, the thousands of carriers. If a carrier messes up, then broker has a ton of carrier that I can pick and choose, and I want to work with, and the broker takes a lot of pressure off of the shipper. So that's, I think, one of the myths. And because of that, carriers like, man, let me just work. I'll just specifically focus on load boards, try my best to connect with shippers, but then I think it's easy to work with load boards. Pay, I don't know, a couple $100, sign up, log in, start searching, start calling brokers. That's it. But then at the end of the day, what? Just basically saying, hey, broker's eating up a lot of money. I'm the man who does all the work, or the company that I'm the company that does all the work, but then this broker doesn't do anything. Well, when we say like broker doesn't do anything, I think they do something, but then we can do that something and eliminate them completely and not working with brokers. So I think I'm on a mission, just basically eliminating brokers and help carriers and shippers how to connect with each other, just removing the broker just completely out of the equation. And that's one of the myths. And then second one, I think this is a common one, is they need a quantity. The quantity meaning shippers require many, trucks. You must have, maybe you will come across with the carrier, and then carrier will say, well, I'm not going to work with shippers. Well, I mean, shippers won't work with me is because I have 2, 3, or just one truck. I'm talking, when I say one truck, I'm basically, the meaning is the owner operator. Now, and why is it? Well, it's a myth. Why? Well, it's because you're not, targeting the right, I would say, ideal client, the client being a shipper. Well, I did a live yesterday on TikTok, and I shared exactly this. And I said, listen, so if you're an owner operator, maybe you have just one truck and trailer, and you're driving, you're finding your loads yourself and off of a load board, maybe you find. But then carriers out there, 2 or more trucks, maybe less than 10 trucks, or let's go a little bit above, I would say less than 20 trucks, and in between, 2 to 20 trucks in between. And they're like, well, we need more trucks to work with shippers. I was like, okay, then what's the like your ideal client? Who do you want to work? So if you are a drive-in, if you own a drive-ins, let's say trucks and trailers, you are in the drive-in market, and you talking about who will be like your ideal client if you're like a drive-in. For me, I was I was the I was a shipper. I was just doing live on TikTok. I was a shipper, and at the same time, meaning import export exporter, when we bring construction materials from other countries into the United States. So I was a carrier in the flatbed market. Now, I owned, let's say, 4 trucks, and I want to haul, let's say, plywood, more specific. And I'll be showing you exactly how I done that, and I will be showing you guys, everything is step by step. So then my shipper, like how many loads, like my capabilities, like my capacity. It's not about the shipper's capacity. It's all about your capacity. It's based on your capacity. You go out there and find shippers. Let's debate. Let's talk about this. Like we are looking for shippers. Like one question: what type of shipper you're looking for? So there is a shipper, and he has a lot of loads, and this company ships, I don't know, maybe 10,000 loads per week. Just I'm throwing some numbers. I'm just to um bring, I would say, so let's just get to the point, right? It's will that help you? 10,000 loads per week? Okay, so what about 500 loads every single day? If basically with 4 trucks you can't do that, and because of that, shippers won't work because you are out there looking for shippers, not knowing like how many loads you need, you're not qualifying them, and you're like, I have 4 trucks, I have 2 trucks, I have 20 trucks, I will go there and I will work with them. And then you realize that, whoa, there is like capacity coming at you, and you're scared and you don't want to do that. But before you go there, like one of the tactics, obviously, is basically sit down and look at, okay, if I have 4 trucks, I'm in the flatbed market, and I can haul plywood because it's a flatbed and a step deck. I do have step deck trailers. And if I plywood, let me search plywood locally. And by the way, I'll be showing you how you can search locally and at the same time use a tool, right? And then I will show you, and I'll basically give you what's the difference and which one performs better, right? So you can basically, by watching this video, like that's the goal. By watching this video, this training, going over the training, if you're a carrier, right next day, or you can even today, but I think it's end of the day today. But then you can basically call shippers tomorrow because you will have the tactics and strategies. You will start working with them if you obviously implement what I teach here. Now, and think about, I have 4 trucks and I want to work with plywood companies. I'll be using Google and I'll go there and okay, plywood companies or distribution centers, in Houston, Texas, for example. There are a lot of list of companies, hundreds of, I don't know, maybe thousands of companies will pop up, and then I'll just start calling them, right? So, but remember, it's just like one step. It just qualifies and disqualifies other shippers altogether. Think about if I want to work with directly with plywood. I'll give you a company name, Dixie Ply, for example. Dixie Ply, they're nationwide. They have, almost in any state, they are distribution center, right? Or centers. That means the pallets there are a lot of containers, hundreds of thousands of containers coming into the United States with the plywood, and they need, well, all the plywood they already sold, and they must be distributed. And that's a distribution company, and that distribution company looking for carriers like you if you're a carrier, right? So the only thing is just like you go there and call them, meaning go there, meaning you just raise your hand saying, hey, I'm here, I'm a carrier. I do have my MC, I do have my insurance. I don't need to work with broker, so let's connect. That's the idea. And obviously it's very simple to, or I would say easy to say it than doing it. But then I'll be showing you the tactic. So why eliminating freight brokers? So that's basically the theme of this training, live training today. And then I'll be going into talking about the strategy behind this. And well, as you know, the strategy comes first because you need to get the clear idea what I'm talking about. And then we'll go to the tactics. Tactics, this is what you specifically go like step by step. Go there, like do this and not say that or say this, those kind of things. And obviously I'll be showing you how you can find shippers. Yes, in this live training I'll be basically showing you how you can find shippers, and I'll be sharing the tools you need to use. Most of you who are watching right now, and specifically for carriers and independent freight dispatchers, the tool already exists out there, but then maybe you don't know how to use that. Why is that? Is because you were just busy using load board, not paying attention that, oh wow, this was available, and maybe you knew that tool exists, but then you don't know the ins and outs of how to use it. Maybe you know how to pull them out, but then you don't know how to approach them. So we'll be talking about this. I'll just basically give you let me delete this. So these are the companies that I pulled using the tool. And by the way, these are the shippers, and these are the shippers, guys, looking for carriers. And I'll show you, and I'll prove you that these people are searching for carriers. Okay, so I'll just quickly, let's go do a spotlight, I would say. So these are the companies, and what I did is that I just basically pulled, knowing that you guys coming from different markets like drive-in, markets like reefer, markets like flatbed / step deck. Not covering car hauling today, although we might do it, but not today. But then, knowing, and because of that, I pulled these companies. So you more than welcome, just see the name and start calling them tomorrow. If you are a carrier, you can do that. But again, I highly recommend sticking to the end. I will be sharing, not giving you the script because everybody is different, but then I will give you an idea what to say, what not to say, and how to properly approach them. Because some people may get confused about, like, man, I know how to find these people, but then I don't know what to say to them. If they say yes, then what will happen? I don't have any contracts. I don't know where should I get those contracts, so I can start working with them, right? So all the good stuff I'll be covering. And again, guys, if you have questions, just hold on to the to the end of the training. I'll have a Q&A, and then we'll go from there. And by the way, guys, if you know somebody who's carrier and who's struggling finding freight, share this video with them. Invite them to a live. Let's share with the world. I know that carriers out there, they're struggling, and this is one of the reasons is I just want to serve you guys and like use it or lose it. That's what I can say. Now, these, as I said, companies, let me pull, I'll just, make it simple. And then when I go directly, how am I, going to, find these people, then maybe we can make it bigger. So let's see, maybe I can just take this away. Bear with me. I have a couple of screens here. So guys, I pulled these companies, and then I made a couple of calls, by the way, and then I'll share what they said and what's the process. I've done it many, many times. You can just take notes. And again, if you need more help, obviously you can email me. That's the email. You can email me, and then we'll go from there. So now, these are the companies. These are the shippers. Obviously, when you look at this specific company. And by the way, guys, these companies that I'm about to show you, and one that you're seeing right now, they're looking for carriers. That's the good news, right? So the bad news, I would say, you don't know how to approach them. Now you know how to find them. Finding is easy. I'll give you an example. There are a lot of carriers, independent freight dispatchers, asking questions like, Kamal, how can I find carriers? I'll show you in a couple of seconds, you can find them like this. Very easy. Very easy. You can find them. But then what's next? How you're going to approach these guys and then present or pitch the idea that, hey, you are an independent freight dispatcher, and then you want to work with them directly. How are you doing that? You don't know, right? So then obviously there is a strategy behind this. But finding is always the easy part, right? Always the easy part. So here we are finding shippers, and I'll be sharing the links at the end of the training so you can use it. Now let's go. When you look at this shipper, they're looking for carriers. So you can connect with them. You can just go see the company name, interfor.com. You can go there. You can start, contact them. Let me, connect with. There you go. There is a number. You can do whatever you want. You can pull email address if you're using tools. Basically, the tools that pulling for lead gen, I will be sharing maybe on the next live training, but then this is basically when you'll be using a phone, something like that, right? So you can call them, and obviously the one thing before you call, what do you see when you are just looking at this? We can obviously go to products and see what they have. By looking at it, you can see that this is the flatbed or the step deck load, right? So think about it. So if you're a drive-in, if you're a box truck, maybe box truck can help palletize, maybe a couple pallets, or hot shot will work. Why not, right? But then this is for flatbed mainly. It's not for reefer. So if you have a reefer trailer or truck, now obviously you're not calling these people. And why I picked this is just because I really wanted to illustrate, bring the point home, is that, listen, this is what I mean when you say shipper, like I'm bringing shippers to you, but then you just pick and choose, right? And because of that, I just picked from different markets. And by the way, students watching this, you guys know the importance of picking one niche, right? One niche is only one niche. Why? Because all of your marketing strategies and everything else is just like tied on one thing, right? So let's go, and by just looking at it, you will see that this company for step deck, I mean for the flatbed market, guys, this company is looking for a carrier or carriers. And how I know, I'll show you. Let me go through real quick. Maybe some of you maybe already working with them, brokers out there maybe watching and like, oh wow, yes, we work with this company, right? So let's go. And then this is another company. What they do, by looking at it, what do you see? So you see what? Metal, right? So you see maybe steel plates or something, or you see steel or something like that. What is it? This is obviously work again for flatbed, right? Flatbed or step deck load. Think about. And again, this company is looking for carriers. Okay. And again, at the end, I will show you and I will just prove you like why and how I know that these people need carriers or looking for carriers. Now let's move. This company that also looking for carriers, and these guys, as you can see, what is it? It's a furniture. These people, if you are a carrier and maybe you have a box trucks or something like that, or maybe a drive-in will work, right? So now you got the idea, because I just picked them very strategically so that I can teach exactly what I wanted to teach, right? So let's move on. And by looking at it again, these people are looking for, maybe in a box truck will help here. Drive-in will help here also. Now, these people, guys, as you can see, maybe you're just looking at these recycle, I don't know, boxes or something like that. Maybe you're thinking like, oh, well, I think Amazon can handle this. It's maybe there is a straight, I don't know, or Sprinter van or something like that. But what if this is for, let's say, drive-in, and then they're moving ton of these, right? So now they need semi trucks for these. So, and again, not going into details, I'll just go real quick, and then I'll come back how I find these guys, and then how I contacted with them, and then how I know that these people are looking for carriers. So produce, these guys also shippers, and these guys are looking for who? Just you can chat with me, you can just let me know what they're looking for as far as equipment goes. And again, we have questions, and again, guys, I'll be doing something like this at the end, how to find the companies that want carriers just by Googling. Well, I'll show you. As I said, I use tool, and I'm using tool, and then I will share with you. Just let's hold on to your questions, guys. As I said, I'll be having those questions, and then we'll taking those questions, and we'll go from there. So these people, for what type of equipment? Just let's engage. Just chat with me. What do you guys think? Just by looking at it. This is a produce. What do you think? Well, I would say reefer, right? Think about it. So if you are a reefer company out there, this company is looking for carriers. Okay, so let's go. So the next one we have is this, and again, this company is also looking for shippers. But by going products, is sometimes when you go to when I'll show you the tool, when you start using that tool, maybe you confuse like what they're doing. Like you have two options. Click on products. 99% of the time they will have the link, the products. You will see and learn what they what they are selling or making. As you can see that a siding, trim, there you go, concrete edge, something like that, right? I'm just giving you the ideas. So one way is just obviously calling them and asking, and the second thing is just by clicking the products and taking from there. Now, next one, this is also, you already know the product. They're making it, right? They're manufacturing it, but then what they need to do is when somebody buys, let's say they're one of the I don't know, huge companies out there, want tens of thousands of these. Now they need to do what? They need to ship it. See that? That's easy, right? They're a buyer, they're a seller. So these people are shippers, these people are buyers. When you move stuff, what do? There is a shipper and there is a consignee, where they're the people that are buying it, and you just looking at the bill of ladings, bill of sales. That's what it is, guys. Like carriers are in between, right? Just helping them to move and deliver. When we bring construction material from, let me pull this real quick. Sohail Akram here, a dispatch truck student. Welcome. So now these people shipping, let's say, a lot of it. Now, what's happening? They need carriers. They need carriers to ship it, right? So that's what's happening. Let's move real quick, and I'll show you this, and then I'll show you another company. And Michelin, think about tires, drive-in. That should say something, right? Now, moving on, and by the way, I'll be showing you how I did find these shippers, right? I'll show you the, what is it? I'll show you the tool. So, guys, these people, some of them, they also have the broker division. But what I realized, that the broker division, it's not really active. But mostly they will be working with brokers, obviously, if carriers, they're not approaching them, right? So this is like how you just get your feet wet. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? So then some of them, they will have the carrier side of it, meaning they will have 10, 15, 20 trucks, just giving you an example. But then, like seasons come, think about like in summer, carriers get really, really busy. Why? It's just like things are moving, right? We need to just pick and deliver. It's just all about just cycling, right? It's a demand, supply demand. And then what's happening is that they realize that, hey, listen, I just can't keep up with the demand. And they do have that problem. It's obviously it's a good problem, but then this is where you come in and say, hey, I have a truck or trucks. That's it, right? And you pitch the idea and you go from there. Now, another one you can think, and again, could be a reefer, could be a drive-in. It depends, right? And again, this is another shipper that is looking for a carrier. They're also, they're carrier themselves. And again, donuts you're looking at, but then maybe it's just like donuts, maybe is ingredients for donuts or something like that. How you just go contact with them. Or the second thing, as I shared already, is just by clicking on the product link and then just do research from there. So this company also, that they're shipper, and these companies, by the way, guys, it's just from one state, by the way. Yeah, just from one state. And I did not pull all of it because there's hundreds of other shippers out there. I just pick and choose to illustrate the point. As I said, like, you are from different market. Obviously, there are a lot of carriers watching this, I'm assuming, and because of this, how to find shipper directly. Yes, I'll show you. Just we'll go real quick, and then I will show you how you can find these people. So these all people are looking for what? They're looking for carriers, right? These are your people. Okay. So, and again, by looking at what do you see? You see plywood, right? You see plywood. What is it? Flatbed. Flatbed comes up to mind, right? Now, if you're in the flatbed market, these are the people that you need to work with. And again, flatbed market, let's go. Another one. Let me see. This one. And I remember one of them, I think we worked in the past when I was a carrier. Let's go. And these are all people. And I just pulled this from one using one tool. So I think we worked with these guys in the past when I was a carrier, obviously, and I worked directly without, without using the broker, right? And I did find using the load board. Okay, so we'll just go there, and let's go step by step. So these people, obviously, you know, a lot of stuff to be moved, guys, right? And then obviously we're looking at the load board and just looking at the spot market and saying that, well, transportation is dead. There's no loads to, move. And I'll share quickly this story. And I was shopping with one of my friends, and he's an independent freight dispatcher. And I said, listen, a lot of people obviously complain right now as far as the spot market goes. And so what do you like? What do you see? Like, we shopping, and I said, what do you see? Like, you see a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff in this, in this shopping center, mall, call it whatever you want, Walmart, anything, and just like I said, just look at it. Look at the shelves. Are they full or empty, or partially empty, or partially full? What do you see? Just like, to me, it's nothing changed. It's like a lot of stuff. It's always been. I was like, crazy. It was always been like that because thanks to truck, carriers and truck drivers out there, they're moving stuff. So go Walmart right now, and what do you see? You see a lot of stuff. But then, guys, like independent freight dispatcher, carriers, we don't have loads. But then you go to shopping and you have everything. And do you think that all of these came from the load board? So people just, dispatching, finding loads, and carriers moving stuff? No, absolutely not. Or I can easily claim this, and again, this is my personal opinion, about 80%, maybe more than that, it's just like by contract. It's like people working directly with shippers, right? And then obviously a lot of brokers out there, they're not posting loads because they're working with their carriers that they build a relationship in the past. Guys, it's all about experience. It's not that it's a gassing or something like that. Absolutely not, right? So, and again, you're watching this, it's like, wow, we have a lot of shippers out there. And how many? Well, I can say about maybe 20, 25 companies up here, maybe 20. I'm not counting, but then think about if you get one or two for you, if you're watching this, that's it. That's the end game, right? In your business, maybe at least for 6 months. Did you see the power of this? Right? This is amazing, right? So let's continue. Now, how I found these people by using a load board called DAT Power. Some of you guys, oh wow, okay, I use DAT Power. Maybe you don't, right? If you don't use DAT Power, there's a link below this video. As soon as I post, it will be available. And that's the DAT Power. I use DAT Power, and not many people, maybe, I'm assuming. I'm not saying that you don't know, but what I'm saying, I'm assuming that people don't know. I'm using a DAT Power load board, and I'm using it, and this is how I pulled these people, right? So let's go there real quick. Do you see this, right? And this basically is just like one state. And I just, picked Georgia and I put 200 miles, and this is why you see Alabama. That's what it is. Now, I'm coming to something very, very important. I'm not going to share ins and outs of this. It's this information is available for you. But then think about this group, middle group, that's the company, right? So how I know, maybe you guys already guessed it, how I know that these people are looking for carriers, because they're using DAT load board. They're shippers and they're using a load board. The good thing is that DAT Solutions as a company, they do the job for us. They go out there, they market and say, listen, we have carriers on board and you can just, connect with us. We'll connect with carriers. Like literally, DAT does this and we are not leveraging this. We're not using this tool to connect with shippers. When I called, back in the days, and I was like, man, I'm like, I want to connect with direct shippers. Back then when I was a carrier, like I don't want to work with brokers. Although I had a lot of brokers that I built a relationship with. So, well, they're amazing people with an amazing company, but then I don't want to share my profit with them. I can do what they're doing. They're doing marketing. They're doing, sales. I can do that, right? So, and I started, calling DAT, and then, as you guys know, maybe you guys know that they do the training. They have webinars. They do training. You can call them, and then they can support you whatever the questions you have. So I said, listen, I'm using Load Board, DAT Power, and then I want to connect with shippers directly. I want to eliminate the broker. I don't want to, give them the cut. So it's like, yeah, it's absolutely can do that. Like we work for you. We go out there, we spend millions of dollars on marketing, and we just like go out there and say, hey, shipper, we have this tool that you can use and you can connect with carriers. So by just like having that in mind, these people pay a ton of money on like monthly subscription to be there for only one reason, right? Like me, what I would say, let me take back. I think one of the reasons, the biggest reasons what they use is that they want to work with carriers. Now, remember when we started this conversation and I said, one of the myths is shippers, they're not going to work with carriers because they prefer brokers, because brokers, they have network of carriers. Number of trucks are important. Think about these guys are very busy and they're looking for carriers. See that? So let me see this question. I have 5 seats of a DAT Power. I didn't know this. There you go. I'm saying like not many people know this, right? So it's really, it benefits everybody when like I'm sharing the knowledge with you guys. It's just like from bottom of my heart. It's all about trust. It's all about relationship. Use this tool. What can I say? Like you can use the load board. And again, let me come back to this. I was working with one of the directors, I think, on a partnership program with the DAT. She was awesome, but she left the company for there's some reasons, but she left. But not because the DAT is a bad company. No, absolutely not. For personal reasons. But I had a really good relationship with her, and I asked this question. You guys do an awesome job by connecting shippers directly with carriers. And I said, listen, we know that some people just like they won't like the spot market rate, and they will sign up, they will use it for a couple of months, and that's it. They're gone, right? I was like, okay, tell me more. I was like, now we're spending thousands of dollars to bring these shippers on board. Okay, why? Well, to me, it's like logically they will make more money because these people will paying even more money because they'll be using the software, the CRM, like whatever, the tool itself. And I was like, okay, they will be paying monthly, but at the same time, they serving their carriers because think about if I'm a carrier and DAT helps me stay in the business, I'll be paying my monthly subscription, right? So they're helping me stay in the business. They're like, okay, we will give you the loads by brokers. We'll give you the loads by shippers. But at the same time, we'll give you the option working directly with shippers. How? This is how. This is inside the DAT. And I'll show you guys like step by step. So coming back, this is basically how you search, and these are the people that I picked from this. Well, it says site is expired, but so I'll log in and I'll show it. Coming back, second thing, and I will come back to this load board, how to use this. So let me take here. Another one, I'll just prepare this for you guys. Another one, somebody mentioned, like, can we just use I think this one, this question, right? How to find the companies that that want carriers using Google, for example, right? So the carriers, well, shippers, they want carriers because they make stuff and they must ship it, right? So now Googling. Have you heard of this when people say Google is your best friend? Well, yes, Google is my best friend, right? So, but then obviously this is another tool and we must understand how it works, right? Let me pull this real quick so that I can plug it in and let's continue. Okay. So, and I will share with you guys. I'll also take the load board up here. Just bear with me. Let me go back here, and I do have a couple of the tabs open. So let me show you exactly how we'll go there real quick. Tools, go to DAT directory, and I'll take this back and I'll show it to you. There you go. So if you have access to a load board, right? If you don't, and again, there is a link below this video or any video you can watch on my channel. Just go to description box and then you will see. Well, why don't I show you right now? Okay, for example, this, it's right now it's live, but I stopped it, right? But then when it's posted, you can go click on show more, right? So now you will see that we have links. For example, this is for the DAT, right? And by the way, if you need factoring, all the links, by the way, if you need, it's here, okay? So now we'll go back to load board. Okay, there you go. So here is a load board. I mean the what is it? Google, and I will show you how to use a Google, and I will go back to a load board. So let me pull this up here so I'm not gonna miss this. There you go. Another one, remember I said the second way of doing it is basically by searching on using the Google. Now, plywood, why I picked plywood, because I bring a lot of plywood from other countries into the United States, and I'm familiar with this, and I will show you a couple of pictures, obviously. So then what you need to do if you are a flatbed in the flatbed market and you have flatbed trucks, trailers, right? So there you go. Now think about the plywood. Remember we talked about the Dixie Ply, right? This is the company, Dixie Ply. They're all over the United States, right? So these are the people, obviously they do have their own trucks, but then they, delivering locally. But think about, guys, these people are looking for carriers to move their stuff. Okay. So then you start connecting, obviously this way. Now, think about if you are like, hey, Miami is really bad, I don't know how to go out. What if you had, Miami is bad because, not the Miami, I'm like, excuse me, coming back. Florida is really bad market going out. We can go in, we can deliver, but then going out is really bad. What should I do? Like, think about, what if you have just one shipper out there and that's it? Whenever you go to deliver in Florida, going out of the Florida, no more problem for you, right? So think about in Miami, right? In Miami, there is a company called US Ply. This company, huge, right? Massive, hundreds of thousands of containers coming from other countries into the United States, right? Huge company. When we visited them, and I'll show you, when we visited them, and I met with my partners, obviously, I met with the company owner, right? Well, actually, he's his son, but then father, and it's a family business, but it's a huge business, right? Think about if you connect with these people. Like, you don't have, this is a US, the Miami-based company. They ship a lot of plywood. they use box truck, they use their own equipment. There are a lot of carriers. When we were there, we had a meeting with them, because these people as like wholesalers, right, and we are importers. They're also importers, but then we know people in other countries, but maybe they don't know. We're just basically connecting them, saying, hey, we're bringing let's say a plywood from, let's say, from Turkey, from other countries as well, and they're looking for specific product, unique product to sell, which is a Turkish poplar, right? And it was like, okay, if you guys looking for Turkish poplar, we can bring from Turkey. That's it. This is how we are going to do business. And what we did, and we connected with them, right? And I'll show you and I'll prove you. Maybe some people saying, Kamal, you did that, or like, we're not sure. There you go. They're me with my partners, and this is the guy. He's the owner, right? And read the company name that I have is it's EliTouch. So basically, this company, US Ply, they're shippers. And when I said to you guys, like, we like, I work with shippers, we bring construction materials, I really mean it, right? There is no lie. It's like, it's everything is like right in front of you. So you can also call these guys and verify. But it's basically, I realize that some people just taking the information, they're not implementing. And I'm saying it works. You don't need to work with with brokers. Work with shippers directly. They need you. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So awesome company, awesome. How I met with them, I was attending I was doing obviously online search, but at the same time, when I called them, guys, basically they're like, this is the tool that I used. I used this. I found them. I called them. They said that, hey, they will be attending a trade show in Las Vegas. I was like, wow, we will be there in Las Vegas, right? Like, okay, I'll show you. Some of you may be asking questions like, okay, come on, show us. Let me show you. This is basically me with my partners when I was visiting the manufacturer in Turkey, right? This is how they making the plywood. So basically, we're making the specific product for them, right? So that's maybe another topic for another day. So there you go. We were attending a trade show in Las Vegas, and this is how we found. Let me show you real quick. So this guy, right? This guy. So this guy, he's a salesman. So we connected with him, and then he said that he will be attending a trade show, and then on trade show we met, and that's it. We schedule a meeting. There you go. So this guy, he's a carrier, and this guy, he's a carrier, right? And obviously, I was a carrier back then because, as you can see, it's 2019. I was a carrier, right? So I just think about the opportunity is endless, right? So this is how you do search by using Google. Amazing stuff, guys. Do you guys learning? Isn't it awesome? Just chat with me. Let me know. Let me see. I'm gonna pull this real quick. Can you hook up with shippers loads? Yes, I can. Absolutely. So if you wanted to reach out to me, you can definitely do that. Yes, amazing. Absolutely. Guys, you just I need an energy, right? We've been doing for about, I don't know, oh wow, almost an hour, right? I need a little bit of energy. So if you guys enjoying it, let me know so I can share more, right? So let's see. Yes, amazing. Awesome. Great. Let's go back to the tool, meaning DAT directory, how you can use DAT directory to find these people, right? So these people. Imagine Michelin, they're using load board. Have you thought about this? Think about billions of dollars company, right? It's huge. International company. I knew this company when I was a child, very young. Michelin, huge company. They're using DAT power, meaning take back DAT load board. Okay, deep insights from you. Awesome. As long as you guys learning it, I'm good. So let's see. Raman says yes. Set up process, please. Yes, as long as you just remind me in the guys about 55, 60 people watching, and you just I'm just nailing it, but then you ask specific questions. This is what I pick up. right? So I'll go into the setup process as well. Absolutely. So let me go and share this with you guys. So how I go to the DAT directory. So basically how I find these shippers, right? So when you logged into DAT Power, and again, you guys know where to find the links I shared with you already. When you go to, as you can see, DAT, it's they name it a tool. Basically, it's your toolbox. These are the toolbox, guys. By the way, these are an amazing, tools out there. Guys, use it if you have access to a load board. Okay, so DAT directory. This is how I just one more time I'll show you. This is DAT directory. You click and you go here. So now they have, I think this is still in beta, which is try new directory search, and I'll show you what's the difference. I still like the research new partners. I think the classic version of it, I really like it. And I think why they did that, because here you don't know how to separate, for example, by market. Hey, if I'm in the flatbed market, this is how I search. I need just a flatbed shippers, meaning the shippers that they need flatbed trailers, for example, right? But then with the new directory search, you can do that. When you click shippers and then it says commodity. On a commodity, you can basically pick, if you are in the flatbed market, you can pick whatever they like. Let's say heavy duty equipments, for example. If you're a drive-in, you can search for drive-in. If you're a reefer, you can, I don't know, ice cream or something like that. So you got the idea. Now, this is where all the magic happens. I showed you guys, but then I'll show you one more time, and then basically we'll go into the, I would say, binding process, or just pitching your idea, that the process, right? The setup process, how you go and set up with them. By this time, I'm assuming like you guys already know the importance of niching down, meaning picking the specific niche, right? I'm assuming, let's say you are a flatbed, because I was a flatbed owner and I was in the flatbed market. Let's say that you are in the flatbed market, but you can use for your own niche, for example. Or you can, guys, share with me, and then let me see. Almost. Okay, I'll come back. I'll just hold on to your questions. I'll come back. Let me just go there real quick. It's just basically, if you are in a drive-in market, you got the idea. I'll just show you, like, hey, this is a, flatbed market, and this is how I find, people. Do you see it says research new partners? Click on research new partners, and there are a little bit of, tricks here. So if you're new to this, remember what we talked about. This is very, very important. If you have a company name, you can basically find them here, right? And this is another lead gen. It's not a complete setup thing, but then it's kind of lead gen system. What I mean by that is, if you know the company name, you can just put here, and then you can find the contact information. Hint. Take notes, right? So let's go. Okay. Now, skipping the company name, maybe we can go like in very detail on this one, but this is a kind of, 30,000 feet view or bird eye view or something like that. So company type is obviously what I'm looking for. If you are independent freight dispatcher, if you're looking for carriers, you can pick carriers or broker carriers, but this video specifically for independent freight dispatchers. More specifically, this is for carriers. Now, carrier, shipper, right? What you're looking for is a shipper. So you click shipper, and then let's do, let's say, let's look for Atlanta, and let's do fine. Guys, it's interesting. I think this is another extra process. We should have, I just like click on Atlanta, and then another window pops up and says, hey, give me the state, right? So I'll enter this state. Let's say I'm looking for companies. It's basically pulling companies in Atlanta, pulling, the from the database, and I say use this. That's it. And then the next is radius. Some people just put, I don't know, maybe 200 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles. I will just put 200 miles. Okay. So I'll put 200 miles, and then I just live as it is. I'll just click search and let the DAT directory do the job for me. Okay, so now what we have is that we have about like 120 shippers out there, and know one thing is this is a good news. These 119 people, meaning companies, they're looking for carriers, and they're using load board, right? They're using this load board, the exact load board that you're using. Think about, you are a carrier, the shipper, they're using load board and you're using load board, and then there's like, I don't know, this like something in front of you, you just don't see them, right? Until now. Now, what will happen next is basically you just take this, and if you need more information, and you can have more information, I'm not going to go into details sharing the information with you, but then you can guys do that. And then this is how I pull that company and do more, digging from there. And all sorts of things. I can do email marketing. I can call them and start pitching. Pitching is coming. Setup is coming. You guys clear as far as how you can find. One is the tool is available for everybody, which is Google. Another one is a DAT Power. And then I have the link. Guys, it's 30-day free trial. 30-day free trial. Think about it. You can sign up. You can use it for 30 days. If you decide not to use it, don't use it. So if you feel like, oh, wow, this is awesome, and then continue using it, just continue using. What's the benefit of using my link? And by the way, it's just a quick disclaimer. It's just that's an affiliate link, and I'm one of the resellers for the DAT. I love the company. And the benefit is that it's nothing extra cost. But then obviously, if you have questions as far as, hey, I did use your link, and I have questions, and I'll do with my team helping you whatever the questions you have. Okay, so those are the two ways how you can find shippers. The process. Now, coming to your process, before we go there, and again, guys, I do see you have questions. Let them coming so that I'll just, pick, and then I'll just, answer your question. Just get them ready right now, because we'll just, go quickly answering your questions. So the process is when you calling, and I'll show you, I would say the general way of doing it, and then I will show you the dispatch trucks way of doing it, right? Why? Because it's proven. I will share both, and then I will share the step-by-step how you can contact them, and then how you can get the loads, and basically how it works. Some people just, they don't know how that, well, if I connect with these people, if I win, then what will happen next? If they say yes to me, then what will happen next? Think about, right? So if they say yes in an onboarding, everything is clear, how am I going to get loads? See that? It's unknown. And because of the many unknowns out there, not many carriers going out there and they want to do business directly with shippers. And working with brokers, obviously, they make easy, right? And then you just like, oh wow, it's crazy. Before I go there, let me share this. I did share this on yesterday live on TikTok, but this is crazy. Two people really like this idea, and then this is what I said. Listen, why you are not going to use this tool, let brokers use this tool, and then they will keep you busy. They go out there and they do exactly what I showed you. And then obviously they have different tools to do this, to kind of, streamline the process. And they will keep you busy, and then you're not basically looking for direct, shippers. Think about an example will be like, there is a guy, let's say 18 years old, 19 years old, looking for a job. And then it's maybe ambitious. They want to learn something. And then they go to McDonald's, and then what they're doing, flipping burgers. And McDonald's does a great job of keeping people busy. And simply because of that, this 19, 20 years old, or the ambitious employee, they're not dreaming. They want to start their own, but then the flipping burgers, they keep them busy. And then I'm paying them, I don't know, couple dollars per hour, and then that's it, right? So same thing is happening. Brokers feeding, using this load board, and keeping the carriers busy, right? But busy doesn't mean you get a lot of loads and you're hauling it. Busy, it's just like you're looking at it, right? You're staring at your screen, And that's basically what they want to do. Literally, it's funny. And I was talking to one of my friends when I came to his office. He was just staring, and then he's really disappointed, not many loads out there, and a lot of kids looking for his owner operators looking for help, and he's frustrated. And I was sitting and I'm looking at him, and he was like, he's staring at load board. And I was like, it's very strange. You're looking at screen for about, I don't know, for at least 20, 30 minutes. Right. And he's like, what should I do? And he's like, don't you think like these brokers keeping you busy just staring? Like, just go out and do something. That was the conversation, but you got the idea. So, and what's happening? Think about, while you're looking at this, trying to figure out how you can get loads, brokers do this, right? Brokers do this. Just exactly same thing that I showed you. They're doing this, they're coming back to this, and they're posting, loads up here. And you go here, they go here, they're posting it, and you're searching it. And they're posting loads, not every load. That's the tricky part. They're not posting everything out there, right? What they're posting, and again, this is my personal opinion, it's just like you do your own research. My opinion is like they're not posting everything. This is just posting left off, right? Hey, here you go. And we're just looking at this left off, and we're just picking those loads. We don't want to pick those loads, but we're picking it anyway. I was a carrier. Like, I know. Like, I must pick it. Like, one of my, partners, well, actually, he was one of, my partner. We were 50-50 in the trucking company, and he also was a driver. I was a dispatcher, he was driving. He's like, why we pick this load? Like, it pays this and this. Like, I was like, man, we have to. It's better. Something is always better than nothing. And he frustrated, and I'm frustrated, but what can I do? But I didn't know how to connect with shippers. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, this is exactly what's happening. Brokers will go out there and they do this prospecting, connecting, this lead gen, prospecting and calling people. They'll come back, and then they will use this post, and then we'll just come back here every morning and we'll just click search and start searching for loads. And not many people, by the way, they know how to optimize the load board. I think that will be another training for another day. Load board is huge. Don't underestimate the DAT load board. It's huge, right? So if you optimize this load board, and maybe already, by looking at some people already taking notes, looking at, oh wow, why he has this? Why is B? Why is 2 hours? But nothing is here. But then why he has, on origin, we have states in, I don't know, states and cities, but he has zones, Z1, Z3 is strange. But why, a lot of, equipment's out there? Guys, there is a reason, obviously. But then, I know how to optimize, but do you? So if you know how to optimize, you can basically, pool, the freight. But not only the tool is, DAT is giving you the loads, right? It's out there, thousands of loads out there. You need to just pick and choose, but then you need to know how to optimize, right? So then at the same time, there are a lot of tools within the tool, right? So it's amazing. It's like endless opportunities what you can do with this load board. On a TikTok yesterday, I did something amazing. Like, you don't need to do like 2 or 3 or more how to search, for example, from different states with different equipment, and I'll just show them that there's a trick. It's just like one thing. You search one, and then by toggling a couple of things, it's very, very easy and handy, and just you have thousands of loads available to you. Okay, now you guys know by now how to find shippers. Now what's happening? Now the binding process, right? Now a connecting process. So there is, as I said, a general way of doing it, and then obviously our way of doing it, meaning Dispatch Truck's way of doing it. So the brokers, obviously, and then maybe there are carriers out there, they start calling them, right? They will start calling them, and that's what I called cold calling. So they will start calling. There are two people when they start calling, two people, or I would say two segments of people. One segment they'll pick up the phone, they're action takers. They will pick up the phone and was like, hey, you guys are awesome, and I have trucks. You guys are awesome product. We can move, boom, boom, boom. That's it. Go, win or lost. Then second type of people, they're more strategic. When they calling, they want to like, oh, I want to use. I don't want this conversation go too many places. I just want to have guided, structured conversation that equals to script. That means scripting. Then these people go into different segments, meaning one will hire somebody and it'll create the script. The other one hire somebody, meaning the company who can have and test it, and then they will be using it. Me, basically, like creating a script, I can't write script, and then I'll hire somebody who can create a script, but then they will get the idea why you want to do this, who your target audience, why you want to do this about your business, and the ultimate goal. And I will share with them. They will create a script for me, and I will just have them take this. Like, I'm sharing something very important with you guys. Take notes. I'm not going to use just one script. I'll have them 4 scripts. Why? Because I will be using interchangeably, right? So one, I will start doing my prospecting, calling them and seeing if it works. I will be recording my calls, taking notes, learning from these calls. Then I'll be using second script, third script, fourth script, and I will just pick the winning one. And this is how we came up with the ultimate conversion script for independent freight dispatch that my students using, right? So, and then this is like 4 different scripting, and I'll start using it, right? So what will happen next with the scripting, obviously, the end result, it's basically you can forecast. You like, you can think like the probability of winning is high, rather than it will compare to just having the phone and start calling these people and asking for business, right? That's the general way of doing it. But then we switched gears a little bit, but then I think it applies to me. But think about how you can just modify, okay? So modify things, but not doing exactly what I do, because my situation is slightly, not huge, but slightly different. Why? Because I was I was a carrier, but back then, but at the same time, I was importing products from different countries. I know how to pitch. With this pitch, works 99% of the time. Okay, and this is how we connected with these people, right? Meaning the US Ply. So coming back, what will like, I'm gonna pull this so you won't get distracted. So this is how that goes, and then we'll go into the contracts and whatnot. So then when we call, yes, it's a cold calling, but it's a little bit different. This is how we eliminate this cold phase of the call. When we call them, and again, guys, like, we are different, right? Just like, don't take this and like saying to them that, hey, you really want to buy their stuff, because you're a carrier. So this is how I did it, and then we'll start talking. Okay. So when we call, we basically say that, hey, we're interested in your products. See that? And now the whole mindset is shifted. When you call, and you guys know, right? In cold calling, there's a gatekeepers. There are people like not allowing you to talk to the C-level people or the people that making the decisions, right? So by saying that, it basically switches everything, because now it's on their interest to sell their products to you. Well, that was us, because we were interested. And at the same time, we had product. At the same time, we were carriers. All of us, all 3 of us, him, and myself, we were carriers back then. But these 2 people, this guy, he's still carrier, right? But then this guy is not, and then this guy is not. So we would call them and they're like, hey, we're interested in the product. Well, oh yeah, absolutely. And then we start talking. So when we start building a relationship, and we will make, obviously, an appointment, with the shipping manager or with the C-level somebody or anybody who makes the decision. Let's keep that simple. So we'll make that. What will happen is that we'll just go there. And then this is how we connected with Dixiply. Remember I showed you Dixiply. I know it sounds weird, but bear with me. They were somewhere up here. But you guys got the idea, okay? So these people, if you can just Google it, Dixiply. Let me go here. There you go. Yeah, it sounds weird, but so here you go. So this company and how we connected with this company, okay, is basically we called them and said, hey, we're interested. And when we, schedule an appointment with them, we go there and we obviously the shipping manager will come up saying, hey, hello, greeting us. And then we'll just, go and look at the warehouse. And we'll start asking questions like how many of these pallets you get or how many containers you get. And they're like, oh, yeah, we have this. But then they will switch the conversation saying, listen, and this is very important, switch the conversation and ask like, what type of product you're looking for? And I'm like, okay, because we know we're like Russian birch. We're interested in Russian birch, and we're also interested in poplar, Turkish poplar. Oh wow, Turkish poplar is something that we need. It's very difficult to find. And I was like, oh wow, okay, we know how to get. And we actually have in our warehouse about 25 pallets. Now whole thing is shifted. Now this guy's like, oh wow, okay. But then here's where I was pitching, because these two guys that next to me, they're in the car hauling, but I was in the general freight. I was in the flatbed, and exactly I was the right fit for them. And I asked question like, where do you guys ship it? So nationwide. Well, I have flatbeds and I can, help you guys in my area. And I said, well, wow, let's talk. See that? Like we started conversation. Interesting. We showed interest on their products. And again, I'm not saying that you guys need to do exactly the same thing, but you model it. You make your own, but don't lie to people, because we weren't lying to people, because we were import-export. We still import-exporters. But then, I was a carrier, but at the same time, I was interested in their product because I know the price point where they're shipping it. Maybe I can bring customers to them. That was the whole business mentality, right? So maybe another question will be like, do I have to leave my office or home to go there? Absolutely not. Nowadays, like I did, and again, live on TikTok yesterday, and I was like, now digital life, it became new norm. Everybody using Zoom and connecting with other people around the globe, let alone just connecting in the United States. See where I'm going with this? Guys, this is huge, right? This is huge. And the opportunities are endless, right? So now I think the time is where I can start taking your questions. I'll stop sharing screen. Guys, just let me know. I've been teaching for about an hour and 15 minutes nonstop, and I want to drink real quick. But before I do this, guys, let me know your questions. Let me help you. Carriers out there, let me know your question, and I'll do my best to help you. Okay. So I have a couple of questions. Let's Raman, as far as the process goes, this is exactly the process, and I will continue. I'll give you a little bit more information. When you start connecting, this basically like the shippers, they're using different tools, but idea is that you will have access to, let's call it their load boards, and then they will give you a load board and access, or to their tools you will access, and this is how you get access to their loads. Some people will be emailing loads to spreadsheets. They will be saying, hey, Kamal, hey, whatever the name is, or Raman, we have these loads for this week, for the next week. And you just basically pick and choose, and then that's it. Just, I book this, I will get this, something like that. There will be I would say, the person that there will be not working specifically with you, right? That there is a let's say project manager, call it project manager. So this project manager will, I don't know, work with 10, 20, 15 carriers, and this is how they will be supplying you with the loads. Some shippers will have their brokers division. They're a little bit slightly different, and this is one of the reasons why I don't go into details, because I don't want to confuse you, because different ways of doing this. As far as contracting, and again, you're not sending your contracts, but they will have their own contracts. Okay, so because you're connecting with them, it's not the otherwise, right? Then that's the other way. You are connecting with them. So the entire legal process will just, they will take care of it, meaning the contracts, whatnot. But then you do your own due diligence and then go there and work or hire an attorney and just, let him or her take a look at the contract and see if you're safe, if you're the right decision, to make it. And again, this training is all about education and entertainment, purposes only. Like, I'm not saying that you need to do that. It's just basically I'm sharing my experience, sharing my ideas. It's a training. You just make your own decisions by hiring professionals. Okay. Let's go. Well, I think there is a 36th dispatch. I think, this person has a great question. So that's the setup process. Let's go. I'm almost purchased DAT Trucker's Edge combo package today. What's the difference in Trucker's Edge and the load board you're showing? A lot of things. You just go there. Like we have a lot of questions. We will take that, but then did a lot of differences. The accessing the tools, news. It's a live feed. Those kind of. You will see when you have the Trucker's Edge and the description of the features that each load board has, and you will see when you pay this, what do you have access. If you pay more, obviously the more you pay, the more features available to you, which is life-changing. Hope that helps. Let me see. Also, how will new authorities be viewed on this load board, or someone operating their own truck under someone else's authority? Oh, this is where, and obviously the idea was showing you guys how to find shippers and working directly with shippers, not the carriers. But we can do another video where, like, carriers, obviously, with the new authority, when you're talking to a carriers as an independent freight dispatcher, I'm assuming you just ask the question, and then when you get the paperwork, you will see that it's the new authority. It's just like they're working under someone else's authority. And my personal opinion, when I was a carrier and when I was getting owner operators, like they interested in working with me, I was saying, like 100% of the time, saying no to those people who are working under somebody else's owner authority. It's like, no, it's, if you want to work under my authority, because I was a carrier. See, my situation is a little bit different because I was a carrier and I was like, getting carriers under my, the owner operators under my own authority. So a little bit different. So hope that helps. What about power only market? It's huge. Yeah. So I was doing research today. Man, there was it's obviously project based. The project-based loads, but then at the same time, it's a project. It was a huge opportunity. I just screenshotted it and sent it to one of my friends. But then, yes, use load board when it comes to. Man, let me show you. And guys, keep questions coming. Let me go, and then I'll show you guys the power only market real quick. Let me pull this in and I share my screen with you. Let's go. Share. And I will share my screen. I will show you the power only. Let's go here. Okay. So let me make it even bigger so you can see. There you go. Let me take this. Okay. So now let me edit this. And I'm delete. And again, guys, I do things slightly different. Don't be confused. But see this only, any, toggle. Okay, so you just toggle to only, and you just scroll down, and this is where you see power only. See that? By the way, guys, for those of you who don't know power only is just a bobtail. Bobtail means there's no trailer attached, right? It's truck itself. Okay, so don't be confused. And I had one of my students, he got confused. Power only carrier approached him And he was like, yes, I can find loads. But then he's like, Kamal, I'm kind of confused about this. I was like, no, like this guy doesn't have, trailer. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Now, power only is a truck itself, no trailer. Okay, so when you click power only, and again, do search. This morning, there was a lot of loads out there, but then there you go, right? So what I see, and I think this is important. What I see at the load board, first thing I look, I'm not looking at the rate that they have. The only thing I see is the company, right? Because I instantly, when they have project-based loads, I will take that and then I will just put it in my system so I can remember that these guys are offering loads on this particular lane. So there you go. That's the power only market. Some people will be like, okay, come on, what about box truck, right? Let me go here and show it to you. And again, see that when you have this load board, and again, load board link is below this video. Toggle only, go to S straight box truck. Do you see that? Straight box truck. I'll keep it everything same. And again, in the morning, usually in the morning, you will see a lot of things. Box truck, here's your people. All of these are the box truck loads. Okay, so let's go and let's do edit. What about hotshot? Assuming you guys, hotshots out there, let me know, guys, if you are in the hotshot. Pick this flatbed hotshot, okay, and then you also pick van hotshot. Go here. Do you guys see the van hotshot? There you go. And I'll do exactly the same thing. Search. Let's see what's happening. Awesome. See that? Boom. There's a good one. See that? So, and based on the length, obviously, and the weight, you can toggle this, right? If you want to see less of it, and then weight, you can see, you can basically toggle. If you want to see, who pays the most, you can toggle between. Is that helpful? You guys liking it? Okay, so let me stop sharing, and this is how you find power loads. As I said, guys, if you let questions coming in, I'll do my best to help. Now, let's go and power only. Okay, sounds great. How to connect these shippers. I explained. I explained, and I've been, explaining for an hour and a half. That right? Let's go. How do I find direct shippers for power only? Drop and hook. Yeah, so I have one of my friends. He is in the reefer market. So he had, well, and again, exactly the same thing, right? So some people will need, and again, by calling, obviously, we don't have that much time so that I can go into details explaining, but then again, the process is exactly the same thing. So, but you need a little bit of tools that it's like filtering for you so you can do less work. So this guy, one of my friends, he got a shipper in North Carolina, right? Stop. North Carolina. And it's basically drop and hook. They will have their own trailers. They will just, go and hook up a trailer, deliver, hook another, trailer, come back. That's basically a system. So, boom. We talked about this, right? 36 dispatch. What is dispatch role in this? In this, meaning connecting with shippers. Is that what you're saying? Like connecting shippers with carriers? Assuming, and why I'm assuming this is because a lot of my students asking this question, and I was like, listen, when you connect with shippers, now basically what you're thinking, and again, it's a myth, right? And you're thinking like, now what? I connect, this guy with the shipper. Now he has loads gone. No, if you're just doing finding loads, booking loads, dispatching loads, I've been telling this and saying this like the whole entire life, right? So don't do that. You are a service provider. You as an independent freight dispatcher, you're helping carriers. You are, in a sense, as a carrier. You are a carrier, right? It's very important. So you are a carrier. Think about it that way. When you say, well, like, what's my role? You'll be helping this carrier to move this stuff. Now he's even more busier. Well, he's busier than ever. He needs your help. Okay? Hope that helps. Okay, let's go. We need to have some additional fund coverage like brokers. Why? Why coverage? Like, I want to know. Because you are a carrier. Oh, you mean the insurance coverage. Is that what you're saying? Right? So, and again, this is, I'm glad you brought this up, is because, the shippers will different. based on the insurance coverage, right? So let's go. Yes, if that's the case, then yes, you're absolutely right. Not the funds, but then obviously a different the insurance policy. Let me go here. Let's say possible to set up a Zoom call for consultation with me or with the shipper. Is that what you're saying? Please clarify. I'll give you the answer. Okay, Adam says looking for training for our dispatcher. Anyone to connect in your team? My team, obviously, we do help individuals, but at the same time, we help companies out there teaching their dispatchers. We're also teaching them the sales. Basically, we give them the tools as well. Reach out to me if you want to. And again, a link will be below this video, guys. In that, let me share with you real quick so you guys have an idea what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's share my screen and I'll show you something very important. So right after this, maybe the training, do you guys see this? Let me go. See this free training? I mean, the free startup guide. When you click on this free startup guide, this is how to start it. I mean, the startup guide, how to become a truck dispatcher, right? So when you opt in your name and your email address and get your free copy, you're not only getting the copy of this free guide, but at the same time, you will have the opportunity to work with me. Okay? Hope that helps. Let me stop sharing and start taking questions. Let's go. This. Bilal says, awesome stuff, man. Great. Okay, so let me take this real quick. Still not understanding what I actually say when I pick up the phone. You had leverage as an importer, but what do I say to be more appealing? That's what I said, right? Model, take the idea and you just model it. Like I don't know. I don't know your company. I don't know how you run your business. What do you say? Do you have the script? That's what it is. Like that's the challenge that I have because I'm talking to one too many. So every single individual is different, and because of that, I can't give you say this, say that, because your situation is different, right? And this is where you need to work on your own, right? So if you're a student, obviously reach out to me, and then we do like every Wednesday at 5 p.m. You guys know, like my paid students watching this, and I'll take it from there. Okay, maybe I'll also help you crafting your script. Let's take this one. How can you work with a carrier and a broker authority? I mean, what is it? What theme if mine should you use? Bassam, be honest with you, not clear. Like refine your question. I'll come back. Let's see, carrier and broker sense of how to merge and work. Merging carriers with brokers. Let me see. Is there a way you can lease your trucks to a company? Well, there is. Yes, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. Meaning there is a way you can do that. Leasing. Yeah. So let me take this. What do you think about the credit score of brokerage companies? What I think? Okay, let me show you what I think, and I will show you what I think. What I'll share with you, at least by showing you, and we will take it from there. So basically, share my screen, go back. Now, this is what I see. So this is the credit score, right? The credit score of the broker, I will now, like my company is different. I'm not going to work with a brokerage company who has less than 95, let's say. But then if they have 90, let's see if somebody has 90 somewhere, like the hundreds, 85. See, when you look at like 85, see this factoring company, they're not even factoring it, right? They're not working with this guy. So see this? Now this guy has 95, but then they're not working with the factoring company. So maybe you're thinking this factoring company, they're not working with the guy who has about 95 as a score, but because it's all about managing the risk, right? Some people take risks, some companies they don't, right? So there you go. I think there was a 90. There you go. See this 90, but at the same time, factoring company works with them. And by the way, these check marks are by OTR Capital. They are partner for the DAT. Okay. So hope that helps. What I think, I'm assuming you're saying like, what's the score point that you just okay? If they have less than 95, what would you do? I'm not gonna work with them. If it's 95, then I will work. That's how I look at the broker credit score. Let's see. But again, the whole idea was not to work with brokers, right? Eliminating brokers and working directly with shippers. Let's see. So there you go. Zoom call with you. So listen. So here is the deal. I do have a consultation, but right off the bat, I'll share with you. It's expensive. You're not going to do that. But if you want to join the training, you guys have access to me, right? And then you will ask the questions you want. But then, and again, it's doing a one-on-one consultation. It will just, I don't know. You want to invest, you can do that, but I don't recommend doing that. Well, you will maybe have 30 minutes, 40 minutes of my life that I will never get back. But then obviously we'll compensate that, and then we'll start, mapping out and helping you. But then if you join the program, you have access to me. Whenever the questions you have, you can join my, Zoom training with my students, and we'll take it from there. Awesome. And by the way, guys, we're not only working with individuals who are interested in becoming independent freight dispatchers. We work with carriers, we work with brokers, and obviously with companies teaching their, staff. Absolutely. So, but our niche is trucking. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's go. Kim says, she's one of my students. She's awesome. Which DAT version is for the free 30-day trial? Kim, we talked about this inside the training. Is the DAT Power, and then if you need links, specific that it goes to and applies specifically for DAT Power, and again the Wednesday training or email will send you the link, but it's DAT Power. Okay, so well again, let me show you. So, and it's also available. For people, if you wanted to sign up, let me just go there real quick and then I will show it to you guys. And again, share my screen. Coming back to this, see every video that I have, if you just go there and you will see there are links. Here is the DAT Power one, right? So hope that helps. Let me go back. Okay, so stop sharing. Kim, I think that's helpful. Let's go. Kadian says, what's the difference in insurance coverage if we work directly with the shipper? Well, you are a carrier. You will have the coverage, right? But then some carriers, some shippers will say your cargo insurance should be, let's say, more than 500,000. I'm just, for example purposes, right? But generally, let's say it's $150,000 as far as cargo goes. Most shippers out there, the cargo insurance, $150,000 will work. But then some people who pay really good money, they will have like extra coverage, or they will say, okay, we need extra coverage, and that's the cost, or something like that, right? So you get the idea. So let's see. Please have someone contact me. Okay, so what about Adam? Did you ask a question? Maybe I forgot. I'm taking people's questions. Let me know. What was the question? Okay. Raman says, how effective we can get money from debitor carrier? How effective we can get money? So are you trying to say that, okay, if carrier doesn't pay, I'm assuming you're an independent freight dispatcher, how you can get money out of a carrier working with factoring company? Why? Because factoring company will deduct money and then deposit into dispatcher's account first, then to carrier's account. Hope that helps. Okay, so let's go. I can see that same info in Trucker's Edge for shippers. Well, there is a subscription level for shippers, yes. if that's the question, or just the statement maybe. Let's see. Adam says, if you work with shippers directly, factoring companies will factor. And again, not do this. If you need more information about this, contact with OTR Capital. And then again, under this video and any other video, you will see that there is a link that you can contact with the factoring company. The guy you're looking for his name is Nick. Call him, and then it will help you all the questions as far as factoring company goes, and then they will help you. And listen, the most of like when you look at the screen that I showed you or shared with you guys, where that check mark is, well, loads could have been posted by a shipper, right? Then absolutely yes. Well, factoring companies, they buy your work basically, and then they just give the carrier the money, and then we'll just wait when shipper is going to pay them, or the brokers. So hope that helps. Let's go. Do you have any tools to help carriers, owner operators to find cheapest fuel on their okay? Oh, I see. So you're basically looking for what I think Trucker's Edge already has this tool integrated with the can't remember the company name, but I think they are the biggest, I think, in our industry. But I did a video, but I can't remember. Unfortunately, I did specifically. I was showing the tools. Maybe I can just find them, or email me. I'll just send you the link. So let me pull this real quick. Let me see if I can log in real quick. I've been using DAT Power, but not the Trucker's Edge. Let me see real quick. And again, let me know, guys, if you have questions. Let me see. No, I can't find. But again, email me, info@dispatchtrucks.com. Whatever the questions you guys have. Let me pull this, by the way, and you can see. Okay, hide this. Come back, and then I'll show you. And again, if you have questions, there you go. You can email me. Like, you need consultation, you want to join the course, whatever, you just let me know. I'll do my best to help. So what I want to show you guys, this is the Facebook group. Guys, we have a lot of carriers. We have DAT as a company there, right? And I'll show you where you can get really, I would say, connect with guys. As you by now, you guys realize that when I'm like, I can't multitask. When I'm really typing, I can barely speak. So what I was trying to say is that, let me pull this real quick. I'll show you something really cool, and then where you can get, obviously, connect more with more people. Let me go to this tool, and I'll pull this, and I'll show it to you. Now, this is the Facebook group. I'll share with you real quick. Share my screen. Let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, so do you see this screen? I do have multiple screens. There you go. Guys, this is the group. Let me go there real quick, and I'll show it to you. So this is the group that we have, about 11,000 people. We have a lot of brokers here. So that's the link right on the screen. We have a lot of people, independent freight dispatchers. We have carriers. We have brokers. We have shippers. We have DAT in this group. We all share, right? Come and join us. Okay, that's one thing. And by the way, guys, DAT, and for those of you, obviously, so they see that they made the post, basically, DAT saying is that, hey, if you want to learn how to become independent freight dispatchers, we're the company we can help, right? So if you want to join, then obviously the number one tool is this. Join and ask whatever the questions you have, and we'll do our best to help you. Okay, so and obviously when we do, let's say, posts like this, you will have, and by the way, that's the guy, the Nick from OTR Capital, right? That's your guy, right? So I think this post was, there you go, was posted by the DAT. Let me see if you guys have more questions. Let me stop and take your questions. Let me see. Um, so we covered this. Okay, let me pull this. Okay, how do you deal with the double brokers? Well, guys, and again, time being, we have tools that well, systems and workflows that we developed, but you just the place that you need to look at, the first thing, obviously, the load board. The second is when you're communicating. The third thing is obviously the rate confirmation, right? It's all about experience. There's no specific way that I can say, hey, do this, and there is a tool it identifies. It's basically it's an experience. I had a bad experience with those people out there, these narrow-minded people that they're scamming people. But then it's all about experience, right? The rate confirmation is the paper, the document you need to look at. Let me take this and see what is the automated tool for getting carriers sales. We do developed a we haven't announced the actual launch day, but then we developed one, and then that will be available for you guys as well. Now, let's see. Do you have a business development team who can assist lending dedicated lanes? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, you don't need business development, guys. Make it simple. I know it sounds fancy, looks cool, but guys, there are a lot of people out there. I respect the way you're thinking. They respect it with the way you're saying, Adam. What I'm trying to say, make it simple. It's yes, we can help. There are a lot of companies out there that can help to building the lanes. You can build lanes by yourself, right? By just attending these live, asking these great questions, and then I'll show you the way how you can just build your lane. It's simple, it's easy, right? So my job, why I'm saying this, my job is to like break complex things and make simple and share with the world, right? So let's go. I hope that makes. Let's see. Bassam says, awesome. I will join you soon, sir. Absolutely. I'll see you on the other side. Let's go. Adam says, a lot of new brokers showing up on DAT. Agree. With few fake lows to stay green with factoring companies. Does DAT have a process to identify fake brokers? Yes, they do. They have a compliance team, obviously. Because factoring charges back after 9 days. It depends on the factoring. What the factoring company that I recommend, OTR Capital. OTR Solutions. They changed the name. OTR Solutions. There is a link below this video. Check it out. So you guys need people, I would say right people to work with. Okay. So, and we will do an interview with the OTR. We invited them, and we did 2 already interviews with them. Now they're inviting, and they will be interviewing me with the Nick, and then obviously with the OTR, solutions, team, and we'll talk and share a lot of good stuff with you guys. Let's see. We did take this one. Let me see. As a drive-in truck driver, you are a driver. I thought I would dispatch for drive-in. However, would you ever suggest getting into a different market to start out? I would say, if I were you, you are a drive-in driver, right? So you're driving you are a driver. Maybe you're for a company. Maybe you're owner operator. So I would suggest sticking in that market because at least, right, the lingo, the terminologies, the way it works, a little bit of a concept, understanding how the drive-in market works, right? And then I will suggest just like I'll dispatch drive-in and then obviously go from there. But if you're like fairly new, you just pick an ish, start learning, and then obviously go from there. So let's see. Do you guys have more questions? Let me know. We'll almost 2 hours. But then, and again, guys, as you can see, I can talk day in, day out. I love this business, be honest with you. And this is why I'm in the trucking industry. Guys, let me know. Some people misunderstood, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is that, they think that we just teach independent freight dispatching. Yes, we do. But then we are in the trucking industry serving people. We have a software company that helps trucking companies help independent freight dispatchers, and we have marketing services. So if you guys have marketing services, anything from building your website, writing your emails, any scripts, anything, we have you covered. That's what we do. And then obviously we have this channel, and we do a lot of obviously training, and we have more than 22,000. We have a lot of students, but yet we have few active students. That's the way it is as a life goes. But then obviously we can help you. Let's see. Let me take this. Do you think current market rates will drop more in the future, or will it increase soon? How do you see the market heading to? Especially that holidays didn't increase the rates nor the loads. I'm assuming that, and I think based on the questions you have, is all about spot market rates, right? So you're looking at the load boards, and this is what you see. And guys, this is very common when people coming in, and it's like they're looking at the load board and making all of their assumptions. Like, think about now with the brokers, they have their own load boards right now. They build their own systems. They have their own load boards. They're not even posting loads on, like bigger companies out there. One of them is DAT. But then again, you need to optimize and know how to use a load board. I'm not saying don't use a load board, because that's the option I'm assuming right now for you. And as I said, I showed you a lot of great stuff what you can do with this load board, right? So then the loads, I mean the rates, and again, my personal opinion, it's not going to change. Maybe it will get even worse, right? So as you said, like with the holidays, you're not even seeing anything. Like there are a lot of things that happening, and I shared my detailed thoughts on TikTok, the live that I did yesterday. But guys, this is where you, if you are a tech friendly, I would say, if you start using tools, leveraging internet, and lean toward marketing and sales, you grasp that idea, you will crush it, right? And this is why majority of trucking companies out there, they crushing it, because they know marketing, they know sales, they tech focused companies, they customer centric, not company centric companies. Those people are winning. That's basically my thoughts, and I'm not gonna just go and share in like driving or drawing like data points, and then market shifts, contraction points, whatnot. I'm not going to use that language, because as I said, my job is to simplify things, right? So complex things, break it down, make it simple, and share it with the world. So that's my thoughts, ideas. I hope that it helps. But again, looking at by just spot market rate and making assumptions, no, it's not. It's absolutely not. If you're just looking at the load board and making your assumption, you're right. That's applies to load board. Let me ask you this: do you think that load boards dictate how the supply chain out there? Well, it maybe reflects, right? But it doesn't dictate, but it just reflects. And then this reflection, there are a lot of reflection points. What I mean by that is, think about just one of the reflection points, I would say, quote unquote, brokers not posting their loads, like not all of them. Good loads maybe go somewhere. Left ops would go to DAT, and then DAT brings shippers on board so they can support carriers. See that? But then carriers, they're not connecting with shippers. See? Like, have you done any marketing, campaigns? So have you run any campaigns? Like, have you run any paid ads to create this lead gen machine and then put these shippers like throughout, like they will go through your pipeline, and then at the end you will close deals? Have you done that? Not many people, they do this, right? Carriers, 80-90%, I would say, they don't have websites. You simply search for a carrier, the Facebook profile pops up, or LinkedIn profile pops up, but no website. If there is a website, it's outdated. If it's not outdated, then it's just like digital brochure of their website. It's yeah. Well, it's not easy. I totally get it. But then we need a little bit of work to do in order to get shippers on board, and this is how we survive in this business. One thing, guys, it's not a one thing, obviously, it's the three things. This is very important. If you're a carrier, if you're an independent freight dispatcher, write down this is very important. Know always that trucking is highly regulated. Second is brutally competitive business, right? Third one is huge. It's capital intensive business. Got it? These three, highly regulated, right? Brutally competitive. Third one is capital intensive business. It's huge, right? So if you know always when you go into this trucking industry, and if you know this, it is huge. When I say highly regulated, that a lot of money flows out of your bank account and goes to the government because they're regulating you, right? So, and brutally competitive, meaning hundreds of thousands of people going into this, trucking industry every single month, at least hundreds, right? But you do your own research in capital intensive business, and because of that, highly regulated, brutally competitive, and it's capital intensive business. And because of that, not many people, meaning trucking companies, quote unquote, they're not into building their own systems. They're not interested. The only thing they're doing is, to me, it's unfortunately, I see a lot of like my close friends, they're building $1 million business around this load board. It's like I don't understand. How come? Like you're buying $200,000 truck, $100,000 trailer, in one equipment costing you more than $300,000, and you have 20 of those, 25 of those, millions in debt around this one single tool called load board. Load board, in my opinion, and I'm part of the great company, which is DAT Solutions. I love them and I work with them directly. Guys, it's a tool, right? It's helping you run your business, stay in business, but you're not optimizing it, you're not using it correctly. Obviously, you're losing a lot of money on the table. Okay, so that's what I think. What system do you use for onboarding? You're an amazing source of knowledge, by the way. Thank you. Compliments here and there, it helps, right? So I take that. Thank you so much. So what system do I use for onboarding? I use my own system. Guys, there are a lot of tools that you can use online. Some people use, Twilio. Some people use Asana. Some people use Slack. But the onboarding is basically, make it simple. If you're just starting out, if you have already, carriers, then I think you already figured it out, know what to use. But then I'm assuming, since you asked this question, maybe you're fairly new, it's just like use simple Google Docs and just like, hey, first thing happens this, second thing is happened this, then third thing is I'm sending this contract, and he signs, I'm sending this, I'm doing that, then I'm accessing the load board, or I'm sending this login credentials to my carrier, and then I get I let my carriers to fill out this application, that application, and then this form, that form, and then finally we'll have last welcome onboarding call. Is basically you figuring out these processes, and then I come back. I'll like Typeform is one tool that we use, is basically asking questions to carriers before they join. But we came up with the onboarding questions first, right? So you have the plan, you have the blueprint, then you just plug it in. Okay, hope that helps. Let me see if we have more questions. Let's see. Okay. Even dedicated lane rates are affected by the markets, as brokers claim their rates are dropping and we need to adapt. So probably the only solution is the direct shipper loads. Yes. direct shipping. I mean, the shippers. Get shippers on board, guys. If you know, like, if you implement what was the promise? Remember when we started this conversation, I said, listen, if you implement what I teach, you just go tomorrow and start implementing. I just showed you, right? Go back and watch. And by implementing this, that's it. You're good to go. Awesome. So, Abdurrahman, he does really great job by asking questions. Great. Like your lane with the 2KL drop $400 per load since March, and our other lane with Molo dropped $250 per load since March as well. Yeah. So, and again, guys, I'm not a market analyst, right? But then what I said, this is what we see. It works. This is what we teach. This is what we share. You do your own, obviously you as a business owner, assuming you have your own business, you're making your own decisions, guys, right? So I'm sharing. I'm all about marketing, all about sales, all about systems, right? So when you think marketing, when you think sales, when you think system, I think I should come to your mind. That's what I am, right? And how I share is basically by teaching people. They ask and I teach, right? Guys, well, thank you so much for your time. And then again, we'll come back on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Get ready for that, amazing, training. I would say we'll do another good one. As I said, join the Facebook group that I shared. If you have any questions, you can, email me here. Every links that I talked, it's below this video in the description below. Until then, stay safe. Bye for now.